is dedicated to soldiers of World War II. Among them was Biden's uncle.
He got shot down, and they never found the body because there were a lot of cannibals for real.
Got it. Okay.
Biden says his uncle was flying over the Pacific, his plane crashed in Papua New Guinea, and then cannibals ate him.
Hello and welcome to No Truth for You, Episode 3, Killing Trump, and a long list of other fun lies that liberals love. I am your host, JD Vono. If you think this is about Trump or culture or the right for dudes to hang out in the girls' locker room, you're an idiot.
Unbelievable. I turn around, drops the clothes, a fully intact male with male genitalia.
If you don't see this as about good versus evil, you're a liberal.
Families are coming up to get their picture taken and to introduce me to their children.
Blasting better heads on boils!
But wait, there's more. Killing Trump. What? Killing Trump. And so I give you Democrat Congressman Benny Thompson's cleverly named Disgraced Act, denying infinite security and government resources allocated towards convicted and extremely dishonorable former protectees Act. To remove Secret Service protection for, I don't know, maybe any former president who they'd like to see get shivved in prison. Shanked? I don't know. They're f***ing nuts. And not smart. Orange man in orange jumpsuit, bad. Speaking of evil, let's check in with Lady Hillary for some not subtle projection.
Just gaga over Putin.
This is the Wicked Witch of the West.
Because Putin does what he would like to do. Kill his opposition, imprison his opposition.
Well, geez, I hope nobody commits suicide and then drives themselves to a park.
Friend of 42 years, Vince Foster.
Wraps themselves in Hillary's rug.
It is an immense personal loss to me and to Hillary.
Shoots themselves a few more times in the back of the head like all totally plausible suicides.
There is really no way to know why these things happen.
It's a right-wing trope that Hillary Clinton survived a house falling on her.
New witch has just dropped a house on the Wicked Witch.
It's just awfully good that someone with the temperament of Donald Trump is not in charge of the law in our country.
Yeah, because you'd be in jail.
And that's all that's left of the Wicked Witch.
And here comes a load of lies just for fun. 5 masks provide 5 times protection from anything but stupid. Vaccines that don't vaccinate are vaccines. Donald Trump is literally Hitler, and liberals literally understand what literally means. The Constitution is a self-help book on white supremacy.
We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union.
Hey, boys! Look what I got here!
Hey, where are the white women at?
What is a woman is a trick question.
So I'm not a biologist. The meaning of the word woman.
A woman can have a penis. Brian Stelter can have a penis and not just look like one. Black Lives Matter cares more about black lives than real estate portfolios. Joe Biden did not use his young daughter as a loofah.
Ashley, she mentions in the diary, showers with her dad.
All right, that's bad.
Barack Obama is not Jesus in mom jeans. Mar-a-Lago is a favorite FBI vacation spot. It's nice. Planned Parenthood is a much better name than End Parenthood. 4-year-old kids should choose if they're a well-hung Barbie or G.I. Joe in a cocktail dress.
Believe we're saving the world to the men?
Kids can consent to anything but pizza.
Now, first of all, I'm transgender.
Super spreader event is not a Kamala job interview technique.
I have sex with everyone.
My Body, My Choice abortion celebrations are great places to bring your kids to learn about female empowerment and irony. Nicole Hannah-Jones knows slavery began in 1619, but forgot the BC.
Yeah, next time maybe do a little research.
Dreams of My Father was not originally titled Barack, Total Bolshevik.
And America's steadfast opposition to communism.
Total Bolshevik. Electric cars run on magic. Nancy Pelosi's stock portfolio runs on magic. Nancy Pelosi's face can't run at all. Actually, that's true.
This is with real teeth.
Hunter Biden is a fine blow artist. Well, technically. Some people remain confused regarding the meaning of blow artist. The most secure election in history didn't actually happen on opposite day. And how about lockdowns are not just great for prisons, but kids too? Can you believe they actually believe this? Women's rights include having a penis and swimming fast.
His critics say she has an unfair physical advantage over the other swimmers.
No shit!
Communism is great, socialism is even better, especially if you like having pets for dinner. That sounds good. Bidenomics is great if you count sex trafficking, fentanyl sales, and Ferrari dealerships in Ukraine.
Zelensky and his team have embezzled about $400 million.
Still reduce the deficit.
Over $1,300 billion.
Gender-affirming care is gender-affirming care.
I asked to remove my breasts. Treatment is beneficial.
I love it.
I have blood clots in my urine. Unequivocally beneficial.
Took a large kitchen knife, cut off her penis.
Putting a creep dressed as a little girl on a bottle was as brilliant and historical as putting Karine Jean-Pierre
Who won the Nobel Prize.
behind a podium. America is systemically racist, but hating whitey doesn't count. Teslas don't actually run best with a really long extension cord plugged into a coal mine. We've been spelling science wrong for years.
Because I represent science.
Back off, man. I'm a scientist.
Joe Biden is a legitimate president who got 11 million more votes than Barack the God and not a child sniffer grifter mob boss.
Gently rearranges a young girl's hair and whispers in her ear, "There's nothing pervy here."
Okay.
And I've loved kids jumping on my lap.
Sometimes voting machines need a few hours to recalibrate on election night
Trump supporters went to bed probably pretty happy.
to make sure they get those pesky counting problems fixed.
And then you woke up. Things looked very, very good for the Trump campaign. 1 a.m.,
Can you believe they actually believe this?
2 a.m.,
And how about
9:05 a.m.
Donald Trump is a man made of straw?
Oh, joy, rapture.
Election deniers don't know how to count. False flags are not real, but Jan 6 was. Jan 6 was a bloody insurrection where the violent white supremacists forgot the guns, but remembered the weed and the funny hats.
Headed for the U.S. Senate chamber, where he sat in the presiding officer's chair.
Dossier is not French for totally obvious bullshit. You have the right to a fair trial. White is not a color.
Sorry, white devil, but he must kill you now.
Aborting a Supreme Court justice in the 186th trimester is a woman's right.
Who is it?
An armed man arrested outside Justice Brett Kavanaugh's home
Who is it?
and charged with attempted murder.
The Obama presidency was scandal-free if you don't count all the scandals, corruption, and scandalous corruption.
Obama promised to clean up the IRS following its targeting of conservative groups.
Left seriously ill veterans waiting for care.
But wait, there's more.
What do you think of when you think of Fast and Furious?
You might want to put on your helmet for this one.
Slaughtering hundreds of people in Mexico and 2 of our federal agents, his Justice Department handing them guns.
The trigger wasn't pulled. I didn't pull the trigger.
More controversy in the White House after President Trump accused President Obama of spying on him.
There's nothing to see here.
The sun has nothing to do with temperature, but people sure do. CO2 is super bad for you, plants, animals, and other carbon-based stuff that likes to live. White supremacy is the biggest threat to America, despite not existing. Trump is a Putin stooge. Trump is a regular stooge.
Your evidence is purely circumstantial and insufficient to warrant a conviction. He means we ain't guilty.
Borders are bad, and
The border is closed. The border is secure.
if you don't count the parades marching through.
Today, a clear illustration of the swelling numbers of migrants at the U.S. southern border.
The electrified fences being erected around Martha's Vineyard and your daughter's Calvins are not borders.
You want to know what comes between me and my Calvins?
An estimated 8,000 men, women, and children.
The Jan 6 insurrection was planned by Trump and not Nancy Pelosi, and she can tell you that with a straight face. Natural immunity is for dummies.
You're vaccinated, you're safe. You're unvaccinated, you're at risk.
And also, happy opposite day.
Natural laws for sagging breasts, but not the Constitution.
Hashtag saggy boobs matter.
The Inflation Reduction Act was not originally titled the Continuing Grift and Corruption Bill. The Hippocratic Oath was meant for hypocrites dressed up as doctors.
Refusing to treat patients who won't get the COVID vaccine.
You dick!
As hospitals in the Dallas area say they may soon consider vaccination status in assigning ICU beds.
Yes, Satan.
And a Washington state hospital is reportedly kicking people waiting for organ transplants off the list if they don't get the jab.
I'm going to hit you.
Marginalized people aren't actually running things.
Everyone's celebrating Transgender Day of Visibility. I want you to know that your president sees you.
Audio, we got all the chat logs. Oh my God. I'm just trying to have fun here.
Leave me alone.
I got hairy legs, and the kids used to come up and reach in the pool and rub my leg down.
Pansexual does not describe Tinkerbell and kinky cookware.
You've never had anybody give you the Aunt Jemima treatment.
Speed. We don't want you to stick on the bottom.
I'm not enjoying this.
Maybe you need this.
Barack is more of a man than Michelle.
The United States will see the first gay president or the first woman president?
have it with Obama. You can act like a man. Like America.
What is a woman is a trick question having nothing to do with Michelle Obama.
Michelle is a tramp.
Men can have babies, but only women can have abortions. Liberalism is not a death cult for losers. Transgenders are not the first sound argument for gun control.
That is what the trans genocide in this country has brought me to.
Police could identify the shooter as 28-year-old Audrey Hale, who police say identifies as transgender.
Well, at least that wasn't weird.
The Second Amendment is only meant to protect Democrats, transgenders, and anybody shooting up grade schools or Republican softball practice. The Green New Deal is not good old fascism. From the river to the sea is not a poetic expression of turning Israel into a parking lot. Queers for Palestine is not the same as Jews for ovens.
I think the goal is just showing our support for Palestine and demanding that NYU stops. I honestly don't know all of what NYU's doing.
Well, that's because you're an idiot.
George Floyd died from racism, not fentanyl. Joe Biden is a better babysitter than Michael Jackson and R. Kelly. Climate change is an existential threat and will end the world in 12 years, as predicted, every year since 1973. Men with vaginas are paid 30% more than women with penises. Every Republican is literally Hitler. Lenin actually said the goal of socialism is communism in a white pantsuit.
And that wet, clingy shirt she wears the whole time? Nipple Town.
Big booty Latina, I love you, AOC. You're my favorite. She wants to kill babies, but she's still beautiful.
The media is not the enemy of the people, just white people, so that doesn't count. Planned Parenthood plans for parenthood don't include vacuums, scalpels, and sacks of cash. The polar ice caps are melting and the seas are rising, except at the Obama Martha's Vineyard beachside estate. Ray Epps' FBI pay stub didn't disappear faster than the Jan 6 pipe bomb investigation. Windmills, solar panels, and Teslas are super energy efficient even before they burst into flames.
EVs can be especially dangerous when they catch fire.
Duh. An electric car sparked this fire that destroyed their home. And it wasn't even their car.
The COVID doctors and science whores selling out to big pharma overlords.
Sudden death among healthy working-age people worldwide is skyrocketing.
The only conclusion one can reasonably come to is please get vaccinated.
To contrive and compromise data was in no way like the climate change science whore selling out to green energy overlords to contrive and compromise data.
Climate change is a fact.
Prepared for this.
It came down to money.
The UN says British experts manipulated scientific data.
Emails showed misconduct amongst scientists.
But the debate is settled.
And attempts to fabricate a pattern of global warming.
They admit with the Paris Accord, if all the countries of the world reduce their carbon emissions as directed in the Accord, 100 years from now, we would be 0.2 of a degree centigrade less warm.
A creep in a dress should share a bathroom with your daughter. Binge watching vapid shrews on the zoo. Binge watching vapid shrews on The View can earn you an Ivy League degree in women's studies and a temp job at Bud Light.
Hi!
Math is racist because white people use it. Believing math is racist is not racist. White people who are bad at math are still racist.
I agree.
Central banks are not in the business of counterfeiting bad math. 16% of the population getting 50% of the Academy Awards and committing 50% of the murders is math calculated while wearing a white hood. The Electoral College is almost as racist as Harvard.
It's tough to get into Harvard. Fewer than 5% of students who apply are successful. That is, unless the applicant is Asian American. Then it's even harder.
What are you talking about, Willis?
Harvard intentionally discriminates against Asian Americans in order to keep their enrollment numbers down.
Historically, black colleges and segregating graduation ceremonies by race are not racist.
What you talking about, Willis?
Joe Biden is 6/7 of a nice grandpa.
The Biden family, super tight, super loving, super close, unless you were the product of an extramarital relationship with a stripper, in which case you don't exist. So Joe Biden has 7 grandchildren, not 6.
Democrats love election interference more than Stacey Abrams loves cookies.
Thank you.
Democrats love stealing elections more than Stacey Abrams loves cookies and lying about stolen elections.
Any scenario under which you would concede that you lost publicly in 2018?
This is not a speech of concession.
I acknowledged that I was not the governor.
Make no mistake. 8 years of systemic disenfranchisement,
All right, zip it.
I will not concede.
Zip. Rachel Dolezal is black because she feels like it. Rachel Dolezal is not an idiot because she looks like it. Rachel Dolezal loves tanning lotion more than Donald Trump. The Justice Department is just, and not just, a bunch of lying, covetous, corrupt losers.
Although there is evidence of potential violations regarding the handling of classified information,
Hey, douchebag.
no reasonable prosecutor would bring such a case.
anti-fascist is anti-fascist, BLM is anti-racist, anti-white racism is not racism since white is not a color. There are as many genders as Kamala IQ points.
Exploring the unknown.
Bidenomics is great at making Americans broke again. Pundits and reporters and talk show hosts and politicians are not actually idiots and losers partnering in tyranny and corruption.
What you gonna do, Derek?
Show me the money!
On this vote, the ayes are 311 and the nays are 112. The bill is passed.
The $1 million FBI offer to Christopher Steele for a fake Trump dossier didn't disappear faster than the Clinton Foundation FBI joint checking account. The FBI accidentally forgot to mention to the FISA court that Hillary was their dossier sugar mama. Obamacare covering preconditions is not the same as Ted Kennedy buying auto insurance at the bottom of a lake. Guns kill babies, but moms don't.
My body, my choice!
Pro-choice, they just think it's murder. And it kind of is. I'm just okay with that.
The Obama-Iran deal giving those America lovers billions in cash was a good deal, but not as good as exchanging a privileged WNBA pothead.
That was my skull!
For the Merchant of Death.
You know, they call me the Lord of War.
Closer look at the man the U.S. swapped with Russia in exchange for the release of WNBA star Brittany Griner.
I love the WNBA.
This is gorgeous!
They're huge talents.
You serious? More on the notorious arms dealer, Victor Boot. Some call him the Merchant of Death. Thank you, but I prefer it my way.
This is not a Michelle Obama supporter. Green energy is definitely about saving the planet and not the greatest money grab since Salma Hayek found love and learned to count to $7 billion. Liberals are not fellow travelers on an electric short bus.
The bus has Wi-Fi.
Everybody knows you never go full retard.
And even USB outlets next to every seat.
Check it out.
I mean, come on, imagine. You can charge your phone on your way home from work.
Full retard.
Janet Yellen is a highly effective Treasury Secretary and not Captain Kangaroo with a mouthful of peanut butter and bank accounts full of insider trading.
We're now doubling down on that strategy.
Tiny soldier Ashley Babbitt, retreating through a tiny window for safety, deserved to be shot in the neck by a Capitol Police hero.
My name is Michael Byrd. I'm a lieutenant for the United States Capitol Police.
For months, he has lived in hiding over this moment.
And die because she was a threat to democracy and not his tiny penis. Hollywood is not being renamed to White People Suckville. COVID variants are not the range of stupid.
Do you know what NYU is doing? About what? About Israel. Why are we protesting?
To galactically stupid.
I'm not challenging the accuracy here.
Liberals. Undecided votes for Barack are not choices between gay and bi. Universal basic income is great.
Some people don't have aspirations.
If you're not a morning, afternoon, or evening person.
And even if he's a lazy man, and the dude was most certainly that.
The best way to have a great country, well, you have less losers.
Oh, hell. I done introduced him enough.
CDC and NIH are not run by psychopathic DOD plants.
Good to see you.
Grifter yard gnomes.
Please get vaccinated.
U.S. life insurance companies have reported an overwhelming and unexplainable increase in all-cause death.
Totally. Things like heart attack, blood clots to the lung, miscarriages. Politically motivated. And saw an alarming 270% increase in myocardial infarction in 2021. A 300% increase in incidence of Bell's palsy. A 470% increase in pulmonary embolism, blood clots to the lung.
The only conclusion one can reasonably come to is please get vaccinated.
And scarf-sporting loser fame whores.
That's former White House coronavirus response coordinator, Dr. Deborah Birx.
Good to see you.
Gender fluid is not a vaccine side effect found in Joe Biden's diaper. Fossil fuels are not Nancy Pelosi's breakfast martinis.
Intellect.
I got some money in my pocket.
Integrity.
I'm heading off the rails singing.
Imagination for doing the right thing.
Gonna feel this in the morning.
She did.
Wait.
Sure did.
Integrity.
Did you hear that?
Integrity.
Diversity is way better than meritocracy. Just ask the two-toed lesbian hobbit dwarf new NBA goat. Fake news is fake news. Fake news is great news. Joe Scarborough is not Corky's evil twin. Libs love immigrants until they're done leaf-blowing around Senator Warren's Martha's Vineyard teepee.
Hold on a sec. I'm gonna get me a beer.
Stop it.
Libs love Mother Earth until it's time to clean up after a rally.
Thousands of people committed to fighting climate change left mounds of garbage in the wake of their weekend protest march.
Get your half-naked ass out of my restaurant right now.
The Electoral College has a terrific gender studies program. The New York Times Pulitzer Prize for Stalin worship.
The Soviet Union carried out a brutal genocide. He attends a lavish party complete with booze, drugs, a jazz band, and other entertainment thrown by the New York Times Pulitzer Prize-winning bureau chief, Walter Duranty.
Covered up genocidal famine like a fantastic mustache covers up herpes.
His story is promptly discredited by Walter Duranty. It's Jones' word against Duranty's Pulitzer and the reputation of the New York Times.
And NYT has covered up fascist Democrat socialist atrocities every day since.
Covered up so completely, not to revoke Duranty's prize, even after it came to light that his stories were largely fabricated propaganda.
Weird.
Journalists and storytellers are still avoiding telling hard truths or breaking ranks with common convention.
This year's election was, quote, the most secure in history.
There are as many genders as healthy ingredients in fake meat. The Impossible Whopper shouldn't be renamed Bill Gates Chemical Crap Cakes. Liberals are liberal, Democrats are democratic, progressives are progressive.
Dr. Fauci said that if hospitals get any more overcrowded, they're going to have to make some very tough choices about who gets an ICU bed. That choice doesn't seem so tough to me. Vaccinated person having a heart attack? Yes, come right on in. We'll take care of you. Unvaccinated guy who gobbled horse goo? Rest in peace, Wheezy.
In the meantime, and as usual, go fuck yourself.
Jussie Smollett's noose was not made of string cheese from a Subway sandwich.
Who the would make something like this?
The actor paid the brothers to stage an assault, including tying a rope around his neck and pouring bleach on him.
Kamala isn't the world's dumbest idiot.
First of all, I'm not going to engage in that hypothetical. I frankly, in my head, do not have time.
Talking about the significance of the passage of time, right? The significance of the passage of time. So when you think about it, there is great significance to the passage of time in terms of what we need to do. And there is such great significance to the passage of time when we think about a day.
If compared to KJP.
Look,
Clearly says.
Joe Biden is not the quintessential low IQ grifter Democrat thug and not just a nice old fellow who wets the bed more than R. Kelly. Barack didn't know a thing about Biden's Ukraine cash scam. He just found $100 million in his mom jeans. Everyone is gay. But don't say gay. Leo DiCaprio's private jet runs on good looks, runway model tears, and impossible burgers, so there are no CO2 emissions, or whatever he says, so shut up.
Our planet cannot be saved unless we leave fossil fuels in the ground where they belong.
More than 400 private jets flew in for that climate conference.
The Jan 6 Commission was not a kangaroo court of losers, liars, and unattractive simpletons in pantsuits. Minor attracted people are people.
I am a pedophile. I'm not a monster.
And I've loved kids jumping on my lap.
Climate change is settled science. Global warming is settled science. Global cooling is settled science. Global mega kinda cold but also scorching hot with a chance of acid rain and flying monkeys raining from the sky is settled science.
Yeah, and monkeys might fly out of my butt.
Settled science is settled science.
That's a fact.
Europeans emptying the forest for firewood this winter is a credit to green energy. And a way better way than flicking the switch on dumb old nuclear power plants.
I don't mean any disrespect, but it must suck to be that dumb.
Planned Parenthood doesn't end plans for parenthood. Life does not begin at 9 months, plus however long it takes to fill the organ harvest van.
We created the Future of Abortion.
And the Planned Parenthood bank account.
We were gonna sacrifice a virgin to the volcano gods, but we couldn't find one.
It's your self-reported abortion statistic.
3% of all the procedures we provide.
Oh, I totally believe you.
From revenue would have been over 86%.
Billions and billions and...
The deep state is not a thing, and it can't come to you 6 ways from Sunday or a million ways from inauguration like Chuck U. Schumer predicted.
You take on the intelligence community, they have 6 ways from Sunday at getting back at you.
What do you think the intelligence community would do?
Let's indict the motherfucker. Let's indict.
Kids can consent to anything but pizza. Sexualization of kids is not taught in school or doing drag queen story time at your local library church group.
Drag queen story time. It's happening in Canada and America.
Critical race theory doesn't teach racism. Now turn to page 1 of your coloring book to learn straight white babies are born Hitler. $15 minimum wage won't lead to $150 Big Macs served by robots.
I'll have that.
Politics is not a gabillion-dollar money laundering scheme.
Senator Menendez has never explained how he got his gold bars.
That makes Tony Soprano look like a BLM peaceful protester stuffing Louis Vuitton handbags with reparations. America is racist, if you don't count the billion votes for Barack and all those dead guys fighting to end slavery when Michelle's family owned slaves.
For the first time in my adult life, I am proud of my country.
The Anti-Defamation League is against defaming.
Tucker Carlson has a history. Elon Musk threatening to sue the Anti-Defamation League. Of spreading this kind of poison.
America is stolen land covered with a blanket of smallpox. All 14 members of the white supremacy army.
Nerds! Nerds. Nerds. Nerds!
I hate Illinois Nazis.
Are an existential threat to democracy and General Milley's Woke Idiot Book Club for Woke Idiots.
I want to understand white rage, and I'm white.
The Yiddish word of the day is two words for the same thing. Penis.
It is important that we understand.
Schmuck and putz.
Journalists' lives matter. Actors' opinions matter. Cops are bad, bad guys are good, and the FBI is the best. CNN is not the enemy of the people. Just good ratings.
If you like your doctor, you can keep your doctor.
Can you believe they actually believe this? The Affordable Care Act is affordable. AOC is not the president of the AOC fan club. Kamala knows what VP stands for and lays for. KJP's been very clear about...
Look, I see what you're trying to do.
The VP thing.
And hey, you know, I mean, you know, that...
But needs a minute to,
Right, is just, you know, it is just, it's a bit...
checker binder. The U.S. government is not 98.6% pimps and whores. Brought to you by Pfizer, China, and 2 billion Ukrainian ATM cards.
Pass a supplemental funding. Ukraine, greatest Christmas gift they could possibly give it.
Zelensky and his team have embezzled about $400 million.
Summer of Love didn't describe 30 Dad and Portland burned down.
More like a block party atmosphere.
Mitch McConnell has a chin. Mitch McConnell and Adam Schiff are competing in strongest chin competitions for Weasley Weasels. Strongest chin competitions are a thing.
Oh, yeah. It's all coming together.
Equity is equality. Herd immunity does not involve boycotting heifers on The View.
Oh, Barbara.
Condescension equals competence equals Jen. Orange hair bad. Pthaki.
Well, the president certainly does not dismiss that idea.
Pthaki. Vapid equals competence too. Karine, my only preparation is my hair.
No,
Clearly says.
Look,
Jean-Pierre. The New World Order is not a thing.
No.
Also, welcome to the New World Order.
Klaus Schwab.
Hey, did you know Klaus Schwab's dad ran the flamethrower factories for literal Hitler?
Good morning.
All cultures are equal. Multiculturalism is great, especially if you like rape and pedophilia. God is great. Didn't omit the ending part. At killing Israeli kids and raping Jewish women. Pooping in the street around Johnny Depp's bed and shot putting gays off the nearest mosque.
Not gonna jump!
I was afraid Hamas find out I was gay.
To be queer in the Gaza Strip is a crime. Hamas prowls the streets, and those who are caught face death.
Take me right to the graveyard, please.
Are liberal cultural equivalents to indoor plumbing and not doing that other shit. Stuff. Islam loves the ladies, fellows who dress like ladies, and half of Top Gun flight training.
By the way, is there anyone on board who knows how to fly a plane?
The religion of peace loves gay men almost as much as the Vatican loves to give those fellas jobs.
How about a disgraced former minister?
Show a man being thrown from a building. His alleged crime being gay.
All right, that's bad. Okay. All right, important safety tip.
Liberal Democrat is not running a close second to the religion of peace for best use of irony.
He was also then stoned to death.
Klaus Schwab is not Dr. Evil, and Bill Gates is not Mini-Me with man boobs.
Our exhibit.
White rage is a thing, and not just when somebody puts an empty mayo jar back in the fridge. Black rage is not a thing.
The knockout game involves assaulting people without warning.
Even though CNN and mainstream media...
Defenseless and unsuspecting people are attacked by groups of teens who have one goal in mind: to knock the victim out with one punch.
Spend lots of time covering it up.
As you'll recall, Anderson, Donald Trump ran a campaign in 2016.
I don't understand why you have to lie all the time.
Liberals are smart.
Originalism, the justices who take that approach go all the way back to our founding fathers and pretend that they know what our founding fathers meant.
Okay, we'll play Blue's Clues to figure it out. Blue's paw print will be on the clues.
You colossal.
idiot.
Kind and not at all hysterical.
Don't fucking kill me!
Plots to steal the election, but they failed.
Where'd my tooth go?
And super funny.
I want to tell you, Kavanaugh, you have released the whirlwind.
Oh my God, you're an idiot.
And you will pay the price.
And now you're 631 pounds.
This is just a warning to you Trumpers.
Why don't you start helping us out by sticking your face in the freezer and making us some ugly sickles?
Be careful. Walk lightly.
With your looks, maybe bitchy's not the way to go.
Globalism is not feudalism. Back for seconds.
Never going to be any progress.
There's some lovely filth down here. Oh, how'd you do?
How do you do, good lady?
Klaus Schwab.
Klaus Schwab. Wall Street is capitalism and not pay-to-play corporatism, brought to you by BlackRock China. Whoopi Goldberg is a brilliant voice of women and not Buddha's lobotomized chunky sister. Justin Trudeau looks prettier in blackface than Ralph Northam. Jimmy Kimmel.
Sometime at night, Paul Malone look up in sky and say, what the hell going on up there?
And Whoopsie's date.
Next will be Goldberg.
Cheers. Che Guevara was not a sexy homicidal rapist. The U.S. never funded the Wuhan lab, even though the U.S. just canceled funding for the Wuhan lab. Epstein killed himself with a noose made of Kleenex, gifted from the J.P. Morgan Global Pedo Foundation. Epstein's Supermax Alcatrazian incarceration suite suicide, where every camera broke on the first day of the job for the guards, at the moment everyone was on break and super tired, and his double jeopardy get-out-of-jail-free card were silly coincidences, and he totally killed himself like Hillary's favorite lawyer.
Magic trick. I'm gonna make this pencil disappear.
The hard drives, videos, pics, and Lolita Express flight logs for Epstein Pedo Fantasy Island didn't disappear faster than Peter Strzok and Lisa Page.
So, she's a dog.
FBI texts about the insurance policy to overturn the Trump election.
Hey, douchebag.
You did a number of texts. Did you ever text Lisa Page on your private phone?
I did. You want me to read this?
Yes, please.
Yes, sir. Hi, how is Trump other than a douche?
Ms. Page said, not ever going to become president, right? Right?
No, he's not. We'll stop it. There's no way he gets elected, but I'm afraid we can't take that risk. It's like an insurance policy.
MAPS is not a demonic Democrat rebranding
Dressed like torn demons to read to young children.
of misunderstood pedophiles as minor attracted people ready to babysit or join a teachers union. Democrat Big Tent does not necessarily describe Hillary's pantsuit. The Afghanistan withdrawal went great if you don't count the dead troops, left behinds, and other Taliban fertilizer.
And mixes the weeds and the leaves into soil, and that's a mulch, and that's beneficial to your garden.
Putting up a great big gun-free zone sign is a fantastic deterrent for school shooters, purveyors of logic, and the Uvalde police brass. A free gun zone is not a much better idea. Nancy Pelosi likes to share soft elbow skincare tips by jamming her elbow into the back of her political rival's child.
Nancy Pelosi elbowed this little girl during a photo op? That's the allegation from newly elected Congresswoman Mayra Flores.
Universal basic income is not slavery for lazy, not so useful idiots who really need a shower. The Great Reset is not a thing, even though the Great Reset's going great.
So let's talk a little bit, the summary of the book.
It's like going on holiday with, I don't know, I wouldn't say Hitler, but certainly Goebbels.
The authors are Klaus Schwab.
Everyone who has eyes can see it. The native, white, Christian, European population is being replaced.
No. Founder of the World Economic Forum.
It was like a little holiday with Hitler.
Globalism is not a thing, but make your checks payable to the World Bank and the World Health Organization, who mandated bowl of crickets you'll be having for lunch anyway.
It's hard to chew. Yeah. Scorpion.
Shut up!
I'm Nicole Kidman, and I am going to eat a 4-course meal of bugs.
Will you shut up?
The U.S. is a democracy and not a constitutional democratic republic. Any similarities to the democratic republics of China, Korea, the Congo, and other Democrat-run war zones like Chicago?
It's upsetting to watch. Surveillance video captures a brutal armed robbery. The victim was ambushed.
Okay, people, move along.
New York.
At one point, the suspect lunges in his direction behind his back. Moments later, as the victim steps to the edge to look for the train, he is shoved to the tracks.
There's nothing to see here.
In L.A.,
we, the jury, find the defendant not guilty of the crime of murder.
Are purely coincidental. The Democrat Party is not a Democrat Socialist Party either. Any similarity to the National Socialist German Worker Party or National Fascist Party are also coincidental. But if you say Partito Nacional Fascista, it sounds really sexy, like when AOC pronounces Chile as Chile.
I'm making vegetarian
Chile.
Because she's smart and easy on the brain. Feminists love women almost as much as they hate men with penises. Feminism loves women except for the kind who maybe wouldn't mind having a family someday with a guy she loves who has a job and a penis. Hillary's a feminist champion of women. Just ask her besties who Bill raped, abused, or used as a humidor.
He says that you used a cigar as a sexual aid with her in the Oval Office area. Would you be lying? Yes, no, or won't answer?
I will revert to my former statement. I'd call that a big yes.
Women can have it all, including a penis.
I miss my penis.
A 90-hour work week and spider-killing duties. Women should get equal pay for the jobs that cis men deny them, like Navy SEALs, SEAL workers, firefighters, and flaming oil well blower-upper guys.
Nothing too hot for them to handle. From billion-gallon oil well flames to revolutionary fires.
Get out here!
Navy SEALs prefer knit pea hats.
Oh! I'm gonna rip the eyes out of your head and piss in your dead skull!
To misogynistic helmets with pictures of mom inside.
You maggots understand that.
Megan Rapinoe should make as much as the middle school boys team that beat her professional crew with equally undeveloped testicles.
12-0.
Changing your sex is totally healthy and simple as cutting off G.I. Joe's kung fu grip to keep him from monkey spanking.
I got a prescription and went to pick it up like a week later.
Did they ask you questions? Psychological testing? What was your motive?
It was completely self-diagnosed.
I miss my penis.
Dickless here.
I mean,
Yes, it's true. This man has no dick.
It's tough.
Woke is awake and not numbed and dumb. Don't be evil was just a suggestion by some handsome devils.
Don't be evil has been almost entirely removed from the technology giant's code.
Duh. If I walk over there and sit next to Mr. Johnson and carry my phone, does Google know that I was sitting here?
I am Oz,
And then I moved over there.
the great and powerful.
Yes or no?
I genuinely don't know what.
Tech heads have human heads. Fact checkers check facts. Public schools are schools. Public school teachers teach. Reporters report. The FBI didn't form a killer militia and force a ragtag group of semi-retarded QAnon rejects to kind of, sort of, think about kidnapping Gretchen Psycho Face Whitmer.
Don't stare at me. You got the bug eyes.
Even though no one wants to look at her.
The FBI obviously concocted this entire thing.
No shit!
Much less risk Stockholm Syndrome snuggling. Late night talk show comedians are comedians. Kamala and KJP are not comedians.
The bus has Wi-Fi.
President Zelensky is not on a multi-billion-dollar comedy tour.
Remarkable thing.
Zelensky's life work had been.
Zelensky and his team have embezzled about $400 million.
Vlad on Vlad crime is tragic and not the best money laundering scam the Democrat wannabe oligarchs ever dreamed up. Democracy dying in darkness is not ironic media gaslighting. Conspiracy is not French for true.
You think everything's a conspiracy.
The election was rigged.
That's true. Because it's true.
Drag queen performing in front of infants. Yes, infants. The vision is so shocking.
Huh?
Tomorrow, we need to go into the Capitol. What? Fed.
Everything is.
NGOs are not governmental organizations too busy to waste time with all that legislative process silliness and getting elected. It's not a recession, it's a reimagining of excess savings, whatever that is or used to be. This is modern art. This is priceless art. This blow art is priceless art is on sale.
Wait. Was that sarcasm?
He's trying to profit potentially off of his father's presidency.
If Hunter Biden's paintings live up to its cost of $500,000.
Sarcasm again.
5G is almost as good for you.
Penetrate into the very womb of impervious nature.
As your COVID jabs. Stimulus checks have nothing to do with Kamala and Willie Brown's storybook romance. SBF doesn't want his haircut or Democrat bribe money refunded.
Bankman-Fried donated $100 million to congressional leadership, including Senators Mitch McConnell and Chuck Schumer.
SBF doesn't want his celebrity whore friends' bribes back either. Plus, they won't return his calls. Libs hate school prayer if you don't count worshiping Barack in his rainbow bikini. Body positivity is healthy if you don't look inside the body.
This sucks.
Body positivity is healthy if you don't look outside the body.
That Guy in a little coat.
Reverends Al and Jesse are men of God and not men of grift. The Penn Biden Center think tank didn't think about Chinese bribes. Joe Biden can think if you count thinking about sniffing little girls.
Harvey here.
The Biden name is not for sale to enemies of America. The Biden name is not for sale to hunter, stripper, baby mama either. Classified documents are just for fun and never for sale. Equal justice under the law is absolutely not for whitey. Equity is arresting a store clerk attempting to stop shoplifting and not a sign of societal collapse.
That's hot.
There will never be vaccine passports unless you want to go anywhere. There will never be digital currency.
It's very dangerous. One day you don't have any money in your account.
Why this push towards CBDC that we see from the Democrat Party, that we see from
Klaus Schwab,
the World Economic Forum?
The government is just installing cameras under your mattress
and replace it with the Federal Reserve. Why?
For your security.
To be taxed, drained, garnished, or entirely wiped out by the government.
There will never be 15-minute cities with government controls to limit your ability to move about the cabin. Now, please report back to your 64th floor micro apartment because your EV has been shut off for a little re-education attitude adjustment. Eugenics is not a thing, so pay no attention to Bill Gates, Planned Parenthood, and the morgues filling up with COVID vaccine enthusiasts.
Because with more COVID vaccine, had higher excess mortality.
Right, that's bad.
World government is not a thing. Just ask the UN, WHO, WHF, World Bank, International Monetary Fund, and the party animals at the FDIC.
Sexual harassment and misbehavior at the FDIC.
Yeah, let's have a bachelor party with chicks and guns and fire trucks and hookers and drugs and booze.
Teachers unions, teachers and public education administrative teat sucklers have perfected the greatest ghost job scams ever.
Pushed teachers to refuse to return to the classroom, saying it's simply not safe. Her Instagram told a different story. She was poolside in Puerto Rico.
Okay, go.
Teachers' pensions are not Democrat vote-buying scams, delivering multi-million-dollar entitlements to the most entitled, least deserving, lazy, useless losers among us. All the other labor-free labor unions are jealous. 0% of students doing math at grade level is equal to 100% raises for public school math teachers. Professor tenure is not an impeachment-proof license to steal, produce nothing, and receive endless Lewinskis from co-eds and taxpayers.
I am going to give you the best blowjay ever.
Government pensions are risk-based investment funds and not taxpayer guarantees. Guaranteeing Ayn Rand was correct, and a fall like Rome or Joe Biden on a tricky flat surface is coming.
Uh-oh. No problem. Put one foot in front of the other and...
Overall, they say they started the letter by saying he remains fit for duty.
Soon you are walking across the floor. And if I don't win, you put one foot in front of the other, and soon you are walking out the door.
Did a little bit more stiff.
Fall for, a bunch of okey doke.
Put one foot in front of the other. And soon you are walking across the floor. Put one foot in front of the other, and soon you'll be walking out.
And then cannibals ate him.